Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Big Sister. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today, wherever you are. Guys, I wanted to get on here and talk with you all about something that I have been seeing, and we're talking about domestic violence. Now, we know domestic violence can happen to a man or a woman, but first we're going to talk about the women, the females today. And I want to talk to you about how important it is, ladies, to be very careful who you're having a child with. A lot of times, from we were little girls, we were playing with dolls, we were playing house, we got a doll baby, they have the bridal set, they have Ken and Barbie, all these different things. And what do boys get? They get trucks, cars, they're running around playing with their friends. And somewhere along the line, if you're not really paying attention, you find out that a lot of times with women, the greatest accomplishment is to have a husband, a boyfriend, or have a baby. Okay? The greatest accomplishment is to have a baby. And I'm going to tell you why. Why I believe this is true, because a lot of times when relationships end, what do certain women use to weaponize? The child. She knows that man can walk away, not care anymore. But a way to control him is through the child. So a lot of times that is the greatest achievements for some women. And they feel that in relationships that are volatile, if the guy is not faithful, if he's not doing the things that he should do, if he's being violent towards her, there is a thought that if we have a baby, he will change, it will be different. He will stay with me. Some women have babies because maybe it's a guy who sees a lot of women and they just feel that if I have a baby for him, then he's going to change, or they want to be one of the pack. He may have other children and she may believe that she's going to get as much attention or be able to vie his time as much as the other women with his children. So it all boils down to a certain mentality that is unhealthy. And that's something that women, young ladies, you have to explore. You have to figure that out. There are a lot of books, there are lots of organizations, there are a lot of tools and resources where you can get to the bottom of this mentality and make a difference. You may not have had your mom there. We're not going to be able to blame mom, dad. Right now, while you're a minor, maybe you can. But once you become an adult, the excuse of my mother wasn't there, my father wasn't there, they abandoned me, I wasn't raised right, that may be a fact, but it is not an excuse. Once you become an adult, you're going to have to recognize certain behaviors in you, certain traits that's in you, and do the things that you need to do to improve and to get better and to stop that cycle. Now, I'm telling you, ladies, a lot of times once you become pregnant by a man and you're in a domestic violence situation, it is going to increase. It is going to get worse. Before, there's always a chance you could leave, but now you have his baby. You now have a part of him in you. You make yourself, not only do you share a child, you have a lifetime bond. So even if he's not in your life at some point, you will always have this connection. He could pop up at any time. You may see him at your daughter's wedding, your son's wedding. Depending on what it is, this man can pop up at any given time. You have fathers who abandon their children, walk away, and they come back when all the hard work is done. They're showing up when the child has achieved some things, where they're standing on stage and you raise the child yourself. You raise your children yourself, but the parents come back just in time to take pictures, and I'm a proud father. They come back just in time. They want to walk the child down the aisle and want to make a speech, all of that. All the hard work is done, and now they're coming for the E stuff. They want to sit at the head of the table. They're going to show up for this. They're going to be at the childbirth, and when your children have children. And a lot of times, sometimes your child wants that, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to understand that having a child is a lifetime situation. And so therefore, there's some men in an attempt to control you, they're going to let you have a baby for them. Because now somehow they have a right to you. One thing is just you, but now you have their baby. So now they want to know where you're at, where you're taking my baby, who's around my baby, where you going. If you go out, where's my child? What'd you do? They want to show up. They can take the child, not bring the child back when they should. This is happening when you're dealing with a person of poor character. So these are the things that they can do. They can make your life miserable. They can harm the baby. They can do even worse than harm the baby. Okay? They can take the life of the baby to get back at you, especially in cases where the man did not want you to have the baby. So you have the baby anyway. He feels that you're trying to punish him. You're trying to trap him. So now his whole life, his whole goal at this point is to make your life a living hell. You want to have my baby? I'm going to show you. I'm going to make your life hell. I'm going to take your baby around other women. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to bring him back in time. I'm not going to provide. You're going to have to beg me for everything. Do you see what you do? And then a lot of times, again, let's say you're in this unhealthy relationship. When you have a baby, sometimes that is what matures you as a woman. And you all of a sudden realize, you look over at your life, see the toxicity, recognize that this is just not a good environment, and you begin to make better choices for yourself. Maybe you're going to school. Maybe you're completing your degree. Maybe you are making plans. You're not allowing yourself to get into arguments with this person, but this begins to bother him. So what they're going to do is they're going to this is when they ramp up the antics and begin to do things to sabotage you, make your life hard, show up to your campus, whatever it may be. And guys, it's just easier to just not have a baby at all with this person. As much as you may believe that having a child with them is going to make a difference, it's really not. It is not going to make a difference. It further entangles you. It makes things more complicated. It makes it harder for you to disengage with this person because you have a child. The best thing you can do in these cases are try to get help from your family, your friends. Try to talk to his family if they're able to do that. But if that doesn't happen, then you have to use other organizations, even law enforcement, create some distance. And 9 times out of 10, guys, you know that it is just going to be a situation where it's one of those situations, guys, where it's complicated. And there's such a high fatality rates in these situations because it just seems no matter how much the victims are reaching out and they're trying to get help, it's almost as if the worst case scenario has to happen before something is done. Okay. And then after it's all said and done and, why wasn't something done before? They repeat the whole cycle again with another victim. Ladies, be very careful who you're having a child with. You should wait. You should not rush. It's not about chemistry. It's not about a connection. It's not about how they make you feel. It's not about how they make you laugh. You have to understand those are attributes. That's not necessarily their character. Ideally, you want to wait. I remember watching a YouTube channel and the guy says, be slow to hire and quick to fire. And all that means is when you see the nonsense, cut it off. And before you get involved and make commitments to anybody, you want to watch the character of that person, how they handle things, how they handle people, how they talk to their parents, how they behave when they are frustrated. You need to pay attention to that. Stop listening to excuses, because a lot of times excuses is often the things you want to hear. You want to hear these excuses because you are afraid to let go of this person. A baby is a lifetime situation, and in domestic violence issues, it is not going to make it better. They're not going to get closer to you. You're not going to change their character. A child is not going to change your character. If anything, that person is going to just cling to you even more. They're going to feel more that they're going to believe that they have a right to you. They're going to feel like they own you. And a lot of times when they cannot get you to do what they want you to do, they will either hurt or take the life of the child, take your life, or take your life, the child life, and then their own. So ladies, enjoy your freedom. Don't be hasty, and do not ignore the warning signs.